Hey everyone, it's Natalie. I just wanted to come on here and wish everyone a wonderful, happy day, and that you are learning boundaries and keeping them in place, and that your life is going a lot better since watching my videos and using my tactics. And I know it can take practice using these tactics, and you're going to mess up and you're going to have blow ups and things like that. But just keep on keeping on, keep using the tactics, keep stonewalling these people, keep your boundaries in place. Make sure that when you're around these people that you speak as little as possible and that you are just being yourself. Do not pretend to be someone you're not to please somebody that you can never please. My message today is to be yourself around these people, because for years I acted prim and proper and did what I thought they wanted me to do, and it still never met their expectations or requirements. And I can tell you my biggest regret is not being me around these people. And when you're not yourself and you're stepping out of character to be the character or play a character that the role they want you to play, you're not being true to yourself. And the main point is you always need to stay true to yourself, because once you stop being true to yourself, you are being a fake person. And when you are trying to fake it to make it around these people, all it really does is make you look bad, because no matter if you stay in character or you're pretending to be someone you're not around these people, they will always have something negative to say about you, regardless if you're staying true to yourself or not. So my recommendation is always be yourself. And you do not have what word am I looking for? You do not have the responsibility to please other people that you can never please. Okay? So when you're around these people trying to please them, trust me when I tell you this. No matter how kind, no matter how great of a person you are around these people, no matter how many accomplishments you tell these people, they will always go back and say something that is going to make you look bad, seem bad, make it seem like you're doing things for attention. They'll say things like, oh, well, she's feeding the homeless because she's just trying to make herself look good. But in reality, we all know that she's really a bad person. Look what she's doing to our family. She's ripping our family apart, when the reality is that the mother-in-law is ripping the family apart. The mother-in-law acting the way she's acting and treating you like scum is the reason why there is so much conflict in that family. See, there was conflict before in that family you just don't know about. But when you come in, they blame all the other conflict that's happening on you, and that's why they make it seem like you're the main reason why there's so much conflict and so much turmoil in their house, and that it's all your fault that the house is or the family is all upset all the time. No, the truth is everyone's tired of the narcissist. But no one's going to speak up and say it. They've normalized it. The reason why they had to normalize it, because they didn't have an option. They didn't have a choice, because they knew if they said their opinion or said what they felt, it didn't matter anyways. So they just quit, trying to appease the monster and just going along with whatever the monster wants them to do to appease them, so that way they can get brownie points, they can become the golden child, they can become the favorite child. That's why they're scapegoats, because they also blame all the problems even before you came in on the scapegoat, when in reality they are the problem. They are the problem. And they don't want to admit that they're the problem, because they're righteous. Okay? They're self-righteous people. And so when you go enter into this family and they start shifting blame onto you, and also making their child that's in love with you a scapegoat, and blaming him for the conflict in the family because he's with you. That scapegoat at one time could have been a golden child. But see, in a narcissistic household, what happens is the scapegoat or forgotten child will get a promotion in that hierarchy of, if whatever they are on that list of scapegoat, forgotten child, or golden child. And so the golden child will be demoted, and so when the scapegoat or the forgotten child gets promoted, they will take sides with the mother. Okay, so at one time when you thought that these siblings were your friends, you could talk to them, you could say what's wrong with your mom, or you could tell them private things, or you go hang out with them, you go clubbing with them, you go have a drink with them. Well, guess what they do? They run back to their mom and tell them every single little thing that you've said, or anything, how you acted in the restaurant, how you're trash, all this stuff. And then that gets them the promotion. And so once they get this promotion for tattletelling, and the person you're with gets demoted, or maybe they were just already demoted to begin with, now they're getting treated worse because now everything's being blamed on you and them, and mainly them because they chose you. See, the mother-in-law is very twisted. They like to use their children against each other. This is why in a narcissistic household, a lot of the times the siblings don't get along, or they're all fighting for the same mother attention or that promotion or whatever. And so when a forgotten child or a scapegoat child gets a promotion, they feel special. Okay. And so they start to go against the other siblings because they feel special and privileged by the mother who promoted them. Now, if you're dealing with a scapegoat, a golden child to begin with, you'll notice that over time they get demoted. And see, what happens is when one of the forgotten child or the scapegoated children gets promoted, because they've never had that connection, that bond, that security, or acceptance from their mother, they start acting a certain way. And they start treating you bad. They start talking crap about you. So do not trust anybody in that family when it comes to thinking that they're friends or they're your new family. They're really out to get you, because now that they got that promotion, they're going to go and be best friends with their mom now. And that's the thing, is that when a scapegoat gets that promotion, they will do things that intentionally make you look bad. Okay? They will set up booby traps on you and make you feel like you can trust them and you can talk to them, and they act all friendly. And then you know what they do? They go and call their mom, or they go home to their mom and they tell them everything that y'all talked about, even if that scapegoat or new golden child was talking crap about their mom as well. See, they're not going to tell their mom that. It's all big part of a plan. And sometimes I think that the mother and the new upgraded child have this plan together to have you set up. And they set you up in this way where when the information comes back to the mother, they pull your spouse aside and say, did you know Natalie said this? Do you know that she acted this way? This is why you shouldn't be with her. Do you know how she really is? You don't know. I know. and all this stuff when they really don't know anything about you. Because if you're smart enough, you know better than to tell them anything about your life. That's the number one rule. Never, ever, ever, ever share anything with the narcissist, even if they're sitting there acting like they're your best friend, because that happened to me. I sat there and cried to her about how I wanted to fix our relationship and I even blame myself, even though it wasn't my fault. I just wanted to get past it. I just wanted a normal relationship with her. And I cried and I apologized to her and told her I did this or that and I shouldn't have done this, even though she was doing horrible things to me. And that's the reason why I acted this way or acted that way or said this or said that, because of the way she was treating me. And so they go back and they try to separate you guys. And they will put the divorce word into your marriage. And all of a sudden, now the D word that never has been in your marriage is now in your marriage. So now your partner is thinking, well, I have this divorce word now in my head that was never there before because of my mother. And they'll go do things like invite their child out to eat, but without you. So that way they can sit there and convince their child that they picked the wrong person. And they don't care if you have children. They want you to divorce them. And then they'll say, I'll take the children. I'll rear them. I'll do whatever it takes. We'll take her to court because we all know she's mentally ill, even though you're not. They're mentally ill. They're the true mentally ill patient, but they don't recognize it because they're such selfish people that they don't care about anybody or anything or any opinions but their own. Okay? My mother-in-law treats my father-in-law poorly. Like, she will tell him, like, if he's talking, that's enough, Jan. You don't need to talk. It's okay. Or if he says something that she doesn't like, she'll sit there and be like, no, Jan, that's not true. Actually, this and that. Like, always doing things like that to him all the time, just like she does to me and Jared. And she thinks she always knows everything. And that she's always right and her way or the highway type of deal. And they'll kick you out of the family unless you don't do what they say. They just take you out of the will. If you don't break up with this person or divorce them, you're not going to get any of my money. You're not, like, just using threat after threat to separate you guys. Even when you have children, they don't care about the children. They don't care about their grandchildren. Because it came from you. Because they hate your guts. And because they hate your guts, they hate your children's guts. They play nice. But the truth is, they really despise their grandchildren. Because they came from you. And they despise you because they're in love with their son. They have an incestuous emotional connection with their child that they can't break free of because they're hiding their identity behind their child, because they can't look without their child. They have no identity. And then they have to look in the mirror and see their ugly ass self for who they truly are. And they don't want to do that because they know they're horrible people and they've done horrible things to many people, and many people don't like them. That's why a lot of them don't have friends. So what do? They join country clubs. They invite people that really don't want to go over to their house to have dinner. They do things to invade in other people's spaces to include themselves in friendships that other people really don't want them to be that they don't really want to be friends with that person, because they know what type of like, when you're around someone, you know them, you know their energy. Do you think people want to be friends with narcissists? No, but they don't find out that they're narcissists at first, because they act super nice to their friends. They're taking them out to eat. They're doing stuff with them, all this. But in reality, eventually the friends start seeing the true color of the narcissist, and they don't want nothing to do with it. So what do the narcissists do? Because they know nobody wants to be around them, is they start being intrusive, invasive into other people's friendships that nobody has the balls or to say, hey, we really don't like you. You're not a very good person. You're a nasty person. I've seen how you treated other people, waiters and handyman and your daughter-in-law or your son-in-law. And I just don't think that our friendship is on the same level. Anyways, that's my message today. Peace, love, and harmony. Bye. Have a good day.